Today you will hear from the Black community as they discuss the unaliving of Charlie Kirk. Check it out.
I don't condone violence, and I'm not celebrating this, but I am highlighting it. Charlie Kirk lost his life because of rhetoric. A lot of rhetoric Charlie Kirk helped spread. These are real-life consequences. Charlie Kirk, by the way, which is the same Charlie Kirk that when innocent people, including children, were losing their lives, he said it's worth it. He said it's worth it if children lose their lives as long as he gets to keep his Second Amendment rights. This is the same Charlie Kirk that when Nancy Pelosi's husband was attacked, he said a patriot should bail out the attacker. This is what happens when you have tribalized an entire country so much so that the head of the country pardoned every single person that attacked the country. When the head of the country said that he hates half the country. When he said the Democrats are the enemy of the state. When he said immigrants are poisoning the blood of the country. What the fuck did you think was going to happen? This was inevitable. Again, not celebrating it, highlighting it. He lost his life based off of the hatred he spread. This is what happens when you dehumanize an entire society, so much so to where you don't look at them as human beings and you only judge them based off of what letter is in front of their name. When I tell you, we better wake up, because only two people in this country have Secret Service protection. 2. The rest of us don't. The rest of us have to live in the real world like Charlie Kirk did. The rest of us need to understand that real life consequences face us. This ain't a tweet. This ain't a podcast. This is real life consequences. And if you don't believe that the head of the country has a ton of shit to do with this is the same person that when this podcaster lost his life today, the head of the country that said he hates half the country, that said immigrants are poisoning the blood of society, the same person that called Democrats the enemy of the state, he sent immediate condolences to this podcaster's family. But when Minnesota lawmakers were attacked by people in his party, one of which lost their lives, the head of the country that said he hates half the country said he ain't gonna contact the lawmakers. He said it would be a waste of time. We better wake up. Real life consequences. Charlie Kirk found them out today. This ain't a game.
So I just watched a video of right-wing influencer Charlie Kirk being kissed in the neck by what some would call a bullet. The most interesting part that I've seen about this conversation is people saying that violence has no place in political ideologies. That violence has no place in political ideologies.
This is why we say white supremacy is the issue. Do you see the person, the suspect, the man they are looking for, the man at large? Do you see this man, right? He's obviously white. He's wearing a Patriot shirt. They say that he may be a college student, a white man. I want y'all to stick with me. Now, following Charlie Kirk's unaliving, 3 HBCUs, Alabama State, Hampton University, and Virginia State University have received threats. Threats for what? The suspect in Charlie Kirk's unaliving is going to be a white man. So why are black people being threatened? Because it's all about white supremacy. And no matter what, white people who are racist in this country, who follow Charlie Kirk's rhetoric, believe that black people should not exist. And so instead of turning on their own people, because this was white on white crime, they're directing their anger towards black people. They ain't got shit to do with the situation. I didn't even see a black person in the goddamn crowd. It was Utah. Ain't that like Mormon country or some shit? But no, black people once again, black students once again have to keep their head on the swivel because white racist, Christian, nationalists, KKK members, Nazis are all trying to target them for what? We didn't have shit to do with what happened to Charlie Kirk. It was white on white crime. So why are we being subject to hate? Because no matter what, we will always be the thing white people turn to when it comes to aggression because they can't take it out on their own people. And that is why Charlie Kirk was detrimental to people that look like me. And his rhetoric was detrimental to people who look like me because we're never safe around people who talk like that.
Is Charlie Kirk a life lost, or did the devil just call home one of his disciples? I mean, they celebrated when they killed Martin Luther King and he was preaching peace. I think it's okay for people to be rejoicing in a white supremacist dying. I think that's all right. Mind you, he died doing what he loved, protecting gun rights. He said so famously that he believes that deaths are just sacrifices made to keep your Second Amendment, and he is indeed one of those sacrifices. And I'm going to be honest, better him than another innocent child just going to school, or an innocent person going to the grocery store, or an innocent person going to church, or an innocent person just being on the subway, or an innocent person literally anywhere dying from gun violence. That man spent the last few years of his life peddling racism, white supremacy, xenophobia, sexism, and all things detrimental to a productive society. He was the embodiment of bigotry, and him dying in this way was very poetic. And I don't feel bad.
That was a blood ritual sacrifice. Go to your gematria calculator, put in the number 47, come back to this video and tell me what you come up with. Put in the word freedom. Come back to this video and tell me what you come up with. Put in the word prove me wrong and come back to this video and tell me what you come up with. Y'all, their energy so low, they have to do their rituals in front of the whole world for the energy. Go put that in the calculator and come back, y'all. They doing it in front of our face.
Celebrating what just happened to Charlie Kirk is a wild viewpoint. Honestly, you can disagree with somebody's views, which I've seen this dude a couple times. I've seen him debate a couple people, and I think that's all he does, right? He goes around, debates his point of view, and I think he's more of a conservative point of view, right? I've seen him debate a lot of things. I've even seen him put topics up that I'm like, I don't fully agree with that, but it's good to have people in their opinion so you can have two sides to look at and understand why things are this way. So now for me to see that somebody decided to send a projectile through his neck as he was at a public gathering, and then people are celebrating it, pointing out the irony. At the end of the day, this guy has a family. People who love him. You might not, but people who love him. And now that video, which is now circulating, is going to be everywhere. One person might have lost their life today, but a whole family is going to carry that burden for years to come. Like, as you're celebrating, think about his wife. Think about what she has to deal with now. Seeing that was clearly a public execution. Overall, I don't see how this creates a lot of positivity for anybody. Guys, no matter how you feel about a person's opinion, I don't think this is the way to go about it.
Now, Trump, hurry up. Send the military to Utah, because they're animals. They have to be dealt with like violent criminals.
Hey, black people, before you start, yes, Charlie Kirk got pew-pew. This is not our fight. They literally kill us for less. Do not get on here talking about, and no, just because you don't agree with somebody politically means that. Stop it. Because I've already started seeing it. Stop. Let the white folks deal with that shit. It was a white-on-white crime. This is not our time to be black saviors to these motherfucking devils.
Who in tarnation is Charlie Kirk to have the American flag flown at half-mast until Sunday? Folks, I tried to be nice, and I tried to come at this as civil as possible. But where was this energy just a few weeks back when children were mowed down in a Catholic school in Minnesota and parents had to run down the street barefooted to rescue their child from a madman armed with a gun? Where was that energy today when there was a man in Colorado mowing down students? Where was that energy in Donald Trump's first administration when there was a mass shooter in Florida? Where was that energy when those tragedies happened? Why wasn't the flag lowered to half-mast for those tragedies? But you will lower it for a man who, as far as I'm concerned, gave validity to the very thing that has caused his demise. saying that we must accept a degree of gun deaths in the U.S. to maintain our Second Amendment right. As far as I'm concerned, he spoke his own death into existence. This is asinine.
People are feeling a sense of euphoria, and people are feeling a sense of relief that it happened. But I think it's really important that, and I keep saying this, that we quell this with a sense of stoic realism, and that this event has changed our political landscape, not for the better. Personal feelings towards him, even you wishing this on him a month ago, yesterday, 3 hours ago. Actualization of the event is the issue. It's not wrong for you to hate his guts. It's wrong for you not to defend his rights. The way that people are talking about this is so gross. Not even like that they don't care that he's gone, but it's like everyone just forgot who he is, someone's father. What are you talking about? Does that suddenly forego? The issue was not that he was someone's father. The issue wasn't even that he was a person. The issue is that this changes our political landscape and justifies unaliving people for their opinions, even when they are not elected officials with direct control over legislation. We are approaching a societal norm of not being able to tell people what you believe in or become too influential at the threat of being unalived. That's the issue. Not people not caring that he's gone. It's the violence that will ensue has set a political precedent of unaliving influential pundits. That's what cares that people hate him. Who cares? Who cares that people were wishing for this to happen? Who cares? It has happened. It has happened, and now all of our rights are at stake. Not even from the administration. There is an agreement that we have within society that I will not infringe on your rights, and you will not infringe upon mine, and I will enforce your rights in exchange for me enforcing your rights, you enforce my rights. And if I don't like what you're doing with your rights, the agreement is that I enforce them regardless. Because if I stop enforcing your rights because I don't like it, now I have nothing to justify enforcing my rights. There are no real protections from people attacking you or punishing you or executing you for using your First Amendment rights. The only thing that comes after that is jail time or their own execution. But there is no real protection for us. The second we realize that we don't actually have to uphold the contract, everything falls apart. There's no real way for the government to enforce someone not unaliving you for your political stance. No matter how influential you are, there is no real protection from that. There is nothing really stopping anyone from doing so. This is the precedent that this has set. Wishing for something to happen is not the same as it actually happening. Your thoughts are your First Amendment. Your actual actions are not. They're not your right. You don't get to just impose that onto other people. It's why we only prosecute actualized crime when you really do the thing and not a thought crime. Because you can still enforce the right for someone to think whatever they want to think. You can no longer enforce Charlie Kirk's rights. He doesn't have any anymore. It is irreversible.
Back in the 1980s, 1990s, and even into the early 2000s, a lot of people used to say that racism and white supremacy were problems that would eventually fade away. They would say, just give it time. Once the generations from World War I and World War II pass away, the younger people will be different, more tolerant, more open-minded. Many in older generations truly believed that racism was something tied to the past, something that would die out with age. They thought time alone would be enough to heal the deep wounds of America. But here we are, decades later, and more people are waking up and admitting the truth. Racism and white supremacy do not disappear with time. They are not tied to one generation of people who just happen to be old and stubborn. They are ideas, systems, and traditions that are taught, nurtured, and passed down deliberately. White supremacy is not accidental. It is cultural. It lives in textbooks, in family conversations, in the laws that govern this country, in the way people are policed, in the neighborhoods that are segregated, and in the opportunities denied to Black people. It has always been carried forward, just in different forms. We saw it during the Jim Crow era, when racism was written directly into law and enforced with violence. We saw it during the Obama era, when a black president triggered a wave of backlash, conspiracy theories, and racial hatred that proved white supremacy was not hiding. It was waiting for a moment to reassert itself. And we see it in the present day, where the same attitudes continue to roll along under new disguises. Coded language in politics, attacks on voting rights, the rise of white nationalist groups, and open attempts to erase the history of slavery and civil rights struggles from schools. The truth is, white supremacy has never gone away. It has always adapted. Each generation of white America has found ways to pass the torch to the next, ensuring the structure stays in place. And so, for Black Americans, the fight has never ended. The struggle against racism is not just about confronting individuals with hateful ideas. It's about dismantling systems, calling out policies, and breaking generational cycles of oppression. What people are realizing now is that waiting for time to do the work is not enough. Time doesn't erase racism. Action does. And until America is willing to face white supremacy as a living, breathing force that passes from parent to child, from school to student, from law to society, then the cycle will continue. This is why so many are finally acknowledging white supremacy is not fading. It is rolling right along, generation after generation, because it was built to last. Tell me what you think about this topic. Hope you find the information in this video informative. Feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment. Thanks for watching.